Tufnell Park, North London. November 23, police surrounded a quiet residential street before dawn. From the outside, it looked like any other terraced house, a modest place with a tidy garden and frosted windows. But inside, officers uncovered encrypted phones, luxury handbags, and links to nearly a ton of cocaine. The woman at the center of it all? A 65-year-old grandmother in slippers. Calm, silent, watching. Her name, Deborah Mason. But to those who worked beneath her, she was known only as Queen Bee. There's no single murder in this case, but the victims of overdoses of gang violence of crumbling communities are countless. Deborah Mason never pulled a trigger or mixed the powder, but her organization moved enough cocaine to supply entire cities, and every kilo carried devastation, ripping through families, fueling addiction, and feeding a nationwide epidemic. Behind every baggie she profited from, there was someone else who didn't make it. It started, like most takedowns do now, with digital footprints. In April 2023, the Met Police began noticing encrypted signal messages bouncing between London, Cardiff, Bradford, and Leicester. The conversations were coded, clean, and organized, arranged around kilos, cash, and silent deliveries. But one name kept coming up: a woman coordinating drop-offs, setting prices, managing logistics. Deborah Mason. No criminal record, no attention from the police, just a grandmother with a love for pets, shopping, and her family. What they uncovered next would shock even the most seasoned detectives. Deborah Mason was born in 1960. By all outward appearances, she'd had a quiet life in Tufnell Park, North London. She had children, grandchildren, a Bengal cat. She claimed more than £50,000 a year in benefits, took modest holidays, made small talk with neighbours. But from April to November 2023, Deborah oversaw one of the most profitable family-run drug networks in modern UK history. Police believe she coordinated the supply of nearly 1 ton of cocaine smuggled in through national ports, then dispatched to London, Cardiff, Leicester, Bradford, Birmingham, and beyond. Her team? Not ex-cons or gang members. Each day was carefully choreographed. Drivers delivered bulk consignments across the country. Messages were exchanged through signals set to auto-delete after minutes. Cash changed hands in supermarket car parks and motorway rest stops. Mason coordinated it all, issuing commands, arranging deals, and laundering the profits through fake businesses and bank transfers. She didn't just fund the operation, she steered it. She spent her profits on designer goods, first-class travel, cosmetic surgery consultations in Turkey, and a £400 Gucci collar and lead for her Bengal cat. It was an operation fueled by precision, protected by encryption, and run from her living room. But digital forensics would become her downfall. The Met Police, working under Operation Evelyn, monitored hundreds of signal messages. They watched routes, tracked cars, and mapped connections between Mason and her network. In 1 week alone, investigators intercepted over 100 kilograms of cocaine connected directly to the family. Multiple search warrants followed. They raided homes in Tufnell Park, Hemel Hempstead, and across Greater London. Inside, they found prepaid mobile phones, burner SIM cards, encrypted apps, and cash hidden in household furniture. They arrested 10 suspects. Mason never resisted. The family had tried to stay clean on paper. They used legitimate bank accounts for transfers just below the threshold. Rented short-term lets under assumed names. Used Signal, knowing it was once considered secure. But tech moves faster than criminals. And once the app was cracked, it gave police a backdoor into Mason's entire operation. She made no public denials. But the wealth, luxury goods, surgical plans, exotic trips couldn't be explained away by pensions and housing benefits. This wasn't a faceless gang. It was a mother, a sister, a family. In court, prosecutors spoke of the deep harm caused by cocaine, how it fuels violence, devastates communities, and leaves a trail of grief. Though no family members of overdose victims testified directly, the damage was echoed by the Metropolitan Police, who described the operation as sophisticated and extremely profitable at the expense of others' misery. Detective Constable Jack Krausar put it plainly: they didn't care where the drugs ended up, as long as the money came back. The trial was held at Woolwich Crown Court in July 2005. 10 members of the family were charged. All pleaded guilty to conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. Deborah Mason received 20 years in prison. Her children and relatives received sentences ranging from 10 to 15 years. Altogether, the court handed down over 106 years of prison time. The judge described the group as organised, calculated, and driven by greed. Mason showed no visible emotion during sentencing. The operation she built, controlled, and quietly profited from was gone. When the news broke, the UK tabloids had a field day. Gangster Granny splashed across front pages. TV pundits debated how a pensioner built an empire. Reddit threads speculated about her motives. Twitter users called it the craziest drug story of the decade. But underneath the spectacle was a deeper question. How does someone go from nappies and night feeds to narcotics and networked crime? Was it poverty, greed, or power? The public couldn't stop talking about it, and maybe still can't. Deborah Mason now sits behind bars, her kingdom gone, her family scattered. The operation that once spanned cities now fits inside a prison cell, and the UK is left with a strange reminder: crime doesn't always wear a hoodie. Sometimes it wears a cardigan, and sometimes the queenpin is someone's nan.